boy.
To clinch her second title of the season. Indeed. Brandon. There it is. Nice. Bang.
Winning shot. Simo.
All right, good afternoon, or I should say, yeah, is it afternoon at this point? Where are we? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Who knows, but good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Emil Williams Jr. back with you. It's the stepladder finals of the PWBA Eastern Pennsylvania Regional. Jen Russo started the match. I had to go down there and make sure our scoring worked properly. Shout out to Lane Talk and everyone here at Steel City Bowl and Brew. Scoring has been fantastic today, so we certainly appreciate that. Clark starts with the early double. This is your 3 versus 4. Russo the 3rd seed. Clark is the 4th seed. We'll go over how they got to this point here in just a second. Jen Russo, that one looks a tad left, and it is, as she leaves at 3-6. Russo talked about her ball arsenal. She said she was probably going to be using a rock star, and it does look like a rock star indeed. So good evening and afternoon or morning to wherever you are. Russo shot .267 in the final game of qualifying to earn a spot in into the top 4. Of course, 8 games of qualifying, top 4 advanced to the stepladder finals. She was 6th at the time. She was 7th after 7 games. 34 pins back, shoots .267 to make the show. We will have giveaways for you tonight. Big thanks to those individuals from a partnership perspective. Storm, Brunswick, and Motive. We'll have 3 bowling balls to give away. We'll start those after this first match. Russo. And a 10-pin. Have an intriguing leave from that perspective. She had a high flush shot that carried, which was, I think it was the second shot in the 10th. Maybe it was the first one. I think it was the second shot in the 10th. It held, had some carry. Jen from Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. I learned something about her today, and I've known her for several years at this point. She bowled full-time on the PWBA Tour for many seasons and took a step back, bowled a lot more from the local and state levels. But she is an occupational therapist and has been working at Helping Hands Rehabilitation for 17 years. I did not know that. I also learned something about one Mallory Clark, who was our 4th seed from Lewiston, Maine. And some good carry, very favorable for Mallory Clark here. This is her 2nd regional finals appearance. She finished 3rd last year in Spokane. Lost a very tough match, a good one though, 246 to 244 to KT Simpson, who ended up winning that regional in Spokane. But here's a good did you know. Did you know that Mallory Clark played hockey in college? I didn't know that. College hockey at Buffalo State. Looks down, got away with a good break. Man, an early 4-bagger for Mallory Clark. Good to be here with you. Big thanks to Damon Sirocco, our tournament director. Devin Green. Oh, good to know that it's quiet enough that Damon actually heard me. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Russo. There's a good one. We also have, looks like the top seed match is going down also right now at the USBC Queens. Liz Johnson taking on Jody Shearer. And I believe those are your top 2 seeds over there battling for the top spot. How about that? Meanwhile, Russo looking for her first double, and she kind of needs it here early against Mallory Clark. That looks good. And it is. Best one of the match so far for the occupational therapist. Mallory Clark was the leader of the tournament after the first 3 games. And then game 4, she had her lowest game of the day. She shot 162, followed it with 180. And then battled back to shoot 248, 211. And then finished with 223 to make sure she was the 4th spot. Looking for 5 in a row. And Carey has been pretty decent today, especially for Mallory. All right, so this is an important thing to keep in mind here, folks, okay? So you see in the building, the scoring system in the building gave Mallory the spare. So they had a manual change from the front desk. I will then go down and see if we need to refresh lane talk. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so spare is taken care of, and I don't have to go down to lane talk. That's great. We're cooking. Mallory, by the way, on the fresh, opened the day with 265, okay? She went 265, 244, 218. All right, there's 3 matches, especially if you're starting in the opening match. And so, you know, the odds from that perspective do favor Mallory because of her very good start. And, of course, preferable to be able to keep the ball in front of her just like she is here. That's got a hook, though. Oh, and that's maybe the best break, certainly. That was a 210 for about 80% of the way down the lane. So now that Russo double looking pretty darn good here. The number 2 seed today is Courtney Parinto from West Warwick, Rhode Island. Former collegiate player at Delaware State. And your number 1 seed, stop me if you've heard this before, Carson Lukosius. Carson has now made it, folks, 7 of 7. This is her 7th regional. Because she is the top seed, of course, she is guaranteed a spot in the title match. And that means she will again be in the title. 7 of 7. So all 7 regionals she's bowled, she's finished, or I'm sorry, made the title match. Impressive stuff. Just like that shot from Russo. That one even better than the one in frame number 5. And she's starting to look like she did at the end of the block when she shot 267. Quick look. Oh, contact, but not enough to go down. Wrapped him momentarily, and then there was contact, but not enough. She will handle the spare. Let's see that contact. There it comes. And the tap, but not enough. Got ourselves a 10-pin match here. Big shot there from the college hockey player. Mallory, 39 years old. The big 4-0 coming up. It'll be around the time as the PWBA Tour Finals, which you see that big hanging unit from the top. It'll be the second consecutive year that Lee and Chris Desant here have hosted the PBA Tour Finals and a PWBA Regional here in this building. That is left. And this time, no Brooklyn carry, just a 5-pin. And this one has got all the inklings of a 10th frame situation here. Here's what the players are bowling on. 43 feet, 3.81, or 3.18, excuse me, to 1 with 28.875 mils. Players like Mallory have tried to keep it in front of them, of course, for as long as they possibly could. She did have to get left, and she told me that she was late on moving left. And that was part of the issue in regards to shooting 160, 180 back-to-back. So she tried to ball down and stay where she was so she could be comfortable instead of making the move left. Can Russo step up and double here? 10-pin. This time it connects. Russo sending pins all around from Jersey to Pennsylvania. That's the type of messenger that could win you a match. Max score is 248. It's got a hook. It is right. Misses the head pin. And now in a position where, of course, has to make it. She'll give it a little hook, and we'll just miss it. Quick look at that one as it gets right. About 12-ish at the arrows. And that ball never saw it, of course. So with that open, Clark pacing in the 220s at this point. So if she goes strike, spare, strike in the 9th, and a mark in the 10th frame, she's going to be a winner here. 9th frame opportunity. She'll trip a 4. I'm sure the Maine faithful, wonderful bowling community in Lewiston, Portland, and the entire state watching here, supporting Mallory. Of course, it's the community that's been through some tragedy these last few years here, and they all have rallied together. They stick together. And I'm sure rooting for Mallory right here. Mark needed. And there it is. Mallory Clark will advance And she will face Courtney Parenteau. Or Parenteau, excuse me. Jen Russo, of course, we saw the 9th frame miss there. That's going to be the difference, but we'll not forget, of course, shooting 267 in the final game of qualifying today to get to 3rd, not even 4th. Again, I told you, Clark was very good on the fresh, and you would expect that about Mallory with an understanding of her game. Jen Russo will fast forward. Mallory Clark will head to the bag. Get a look at something different here. Meanwhile, Russo, again, will fast forward. Jen bowls a ton of local items I mentioned. Shout out to Greg Tack. Dougie running great events in New Jersey and the surrounding areas. So we appreciate when she does and can bowl, whether it's a national or regional event. Always good to see Jen out. Official tally is 244 for Mallory Clark, and it's the same score that she had in game 2 of qualifying. Speaking of Mallory Clark, again, she went 265, 244 to start the day. 244 into 206.
Russo, 4th place. Great goal today.
Russo will finish
4th place. We'll take a small break.
In 4th.
Courtney will come in. We'll get some warm-up shots before the next match.
All right, folks, we're going to give away a Storm bowling ball here in just a moment. Actually, no, let's start with Motive. We're going to give away a Motive bowling ball. We appreciate Motive, everything in between of what they do. We appreciate them being a proud partner, certainly of the PWBA. We also certainly appreciate Lane Talk as well. We talked about scoring being fantastic today. We appreciate Lane Talk. Valuable USBC Gold partner. Make sure you stop by lanetalk.com to find live scoring links and centers across the U.S. and all the latest products to help you track your scores and improve your game. Again, that is indeed Lane Talk. All right, so Motive Bowling Ball on the giveaway side is coming up next. Well, as long as things work properly. You know, we always get to that point, right? You need stuff to work, and it doesn't. All right, so right after a true word from Lane Talk, Motive Bowling Ball is coming up next. Courtney Parenteau versus Mallory Clark also next here on Bowl TV.
Some exciting news.
We now have a pro subscription
for bowlers who really want to take their game to the next level.
The biggest thing, you can tag and label each game.
Whenever you use a ball, whatever oil pattern that you're on,
You can now track the ball's performance and compare balls side by side.
it is incredibly powerful and it is going to help you analyze your game.
Try Lane Talk Pro free for 1 month. Upgrading the app, and we'll see you on Lane Talk. Got some
All right, thank you, Lane Talk. And now on to our giveaway, our first one of the evening. All right, if it's been a while, make sure you are not watching in full screen mode so you can see all of the prompts. They'll be popping up on the lower left side of your screen, of course. In the lower thirds, you'll be prompted to enter the giveaway. Well, first, the prompt is letting you know a giveaway is happening. The next prompt will then be to enter said giveaway, and that's all you got to do. All right, the giveaway is out. Again, check the bottom of your screen. That is where you want to take a look. Let me know if you guys do see the notification there. All right, Courtney Parinto from West Warwick, Rhode Island, 35 years old. As we watch her final warm-up shots, she got a chance to cross with, and ironically enough, Jen Russo and Mallory Clark crossed together today. And Courtney Parinto and Carson Lukosius also crossed together today. They were in separate crosses, but our top two seeds and seeds 3 and 4 crossed together. But I knew the way Parinto and Lukosius were rolling early. I'm like, man, that's a – you're talking about having a good idea of what's happening on the lanes. Those two watching could feed off one another, and everything looked great. All right, submit your entry, folks. Submit entry. Motive Bowling Ball.
Good luck, ladies.
Congratulations to Roseanne. You have got yourself a Motive Bowling Ball of choice. Congrats again. Be on the lookout for an email from the Bowl TV marketing squad. They will let you know all the details you need so you can get your wonderful bowling ball courtesy of Motive, proud partner of the PWBA. First shot from Parinto. Bang. How about that? First opportunity in a regional final. Yeah, it's hard to just step up and throw a shot. First opportunity to do so, but to be quite honest with you, that shot looked like qualifying where she was really darn good. Our match 1 winner, Mallory Clark, will match immediately. Clark, of course, in this situation, winning 244 to 206, defeating Jen Russo. If you're just joining us, we are now in match number 2. Courtney Parinto was the higher seed here, and she elected to start the match. We will have an additional giveaway, of course. We'll have 2 more, I'm sorry. Storm and Brunswick. Still to go. Bang. Mallory looks like she's just throwing darts. They don't they look faster than they really are, but there is some heat on it. She's throwing old number 1, the Terminator. If you get a piece of it, you can rename it. Parento not wasting any time. Stepping up, and that looked like a similar shot there from Jen Russo. Just missed it early. Got it right early. Courtney, I asked her about ball arsenal. She said she was more than likely, it was 99.9% chance she was going to throw the 1 reverb, which is the only bowling ball that she threw today. And, you know, it's pretty rare when you get the chance to throw the same bowling ball for an entire 8-game block. Good spare. Great shot. Nice bounce back for Parento. Here's a look at Mallory. Talked about just throwing the darts. About 11, right? And you talking about going right to left, completely online. That was fantastic. I'd see more of that coming up here for Clark. Mal, 3 in a row. And they did look exactly just like that. Mallory is tough to beat when you give her what she wants to do in regards to keeping it in front. Yeah, she joked earlier she would love to just be able to just pipe it up together all the time, but obviously that is not always the case. This one's not quite the gutter, obviously, but she's got a gutter in her head, and she's not getting it. Well, just as I say that, I was just about to say, she's not getting it right of 10, and boom. And just like that. So the out of bounds shot has gotten the best of Russo, Parento, and now Mallory. Her misses have been left in the first match. I don't think she missed right once, if my memory is correct. Get lucky. All right. Thought that might be in the choppable zone there. Bobby, you know, the lane surfaces, right? That's where my knowledge is limited. But Rep, if he's in the chat, I forgot what this type of surface is called. No, it's high friction, certainly. This building has been around for, I believe, 5 decades I was talking to Lee about. Parenzo to cut this lead. Oof. And that's one of those, right? Right lane, last time up, you got one right. You want to make sure you don't do that again. Maybe cuts it just short just to make sure of that, and then misses left just by a little bit, maybe even a hair slow. Well, so far it's been a game of tag here for Parento. And that right lane has been it every single time. Already feels like a key moment here. Great shot. Left lane continues to be good. Shannon Quick. Thank you, Shannon, for that. And that's right. Again, thanks to Lee and Chris DeSant. Steel City Bowl and Brews. Excellent proprietors. And they've got some brews to go along with that bowl. I tried one last night, and it was very good. Swing juice. That's an interesting 7, but that's a good 9. It's a really good 9 there. Good to see my good buddy Debbie down lane. It's been a few years since I've seen her. I forgot where she lives, but she is local to the East Coast. I think it was a couple hours drive for her to come down. Good spare there for Clark. Made the trip to shoot. Folks, if you haven't been paying attention, of course, to the PWBA social media channels, you should. Specifically YouTube. A lot of content dropping there. Behind the pin deck, we've got kind of the top moments of the last decade, of course, in the relaunch tour, and so much more. Be sure to check out the PWBA YouTube channel and subscribe immediately. Clark, 6 frame. Bang. So Mallory has set the tone, but right now Courtney needs a good shot on the right lane. She is 0 for 2 on the right lane, 3 for 3 on the left, and that certainly tells the story to this point. Still close enough, though. Big double potential. Oh, good Lord. Mercy. Egregious. Chicanerous. And deplorable. All in one on that shot. You can't throw it better than that. You can't. Where is Mr. Garvey when you need him? Hashtag Team No A Pin, and boy, all of a sudden, right? That's deflating as a player, and I think we've all been there, especially if you bowl at some point, right? When you need a double, and we've all watched the right lane shots, the first 2 from Courtney, and then she just downright aces a shot and is not rewarded. Unbelievable. She's still perfect here on the left lane. And she remains perfect. You know, you start to look at a pair of lanes as they develop. And obviously each player got some warm-up shots on the pair. But it's hard to say. But it does, maybe the left lane, and I'm basing this on really Parento, because she shapes it a little bit more, of course, than the other 2. Well, including Jen Russo, but I feel like Jen had the left lane as well. And Mallory, more or less, kind of taking the lane out of play. She's so direct. And a 6'10". I mean, this is a different match right now. You know, Parento carries that A-pin. She would have cut the deficit to 5. We could have been looking at a possible lead change. All right, she'll handle. Lead is 15 pins at the moment for Mallory Clark. 245 the max score. Someone asked about brewing their own, I believe, Perfect Bowling Ale. That just might be their social media page for the beverage itself, but they do have a local brewery that they source with. A little bit of a double dribble. Oh, and a good break. There was definitely a little boom boom right there. I wasn't sure if Mallory was about to give me a step back jumper or if we were bowling here. But I did learn earlier that she was playing college hockey, so that doesn't also play or apply in that situation as well. Again, the right lane for Parento. Is this the one? Indeed it is. And it's still very important. It is still a 5-pin ball game. And Mallory Clark will have the opportunity to step up and shut out Courtney Parento. Big shot. And you saw that one hook. And that one feels like, of course, that was the shot. The one where she had to have it. Take a look at that one quickly here. We'll wait. Good spare. Now to Mallory. I was just going to say, she's just got to stay out of trouble. And trouble was presenting itself. And not in the good form. Courtney's max score is now 219. Which means Mallory Clark now has to double. She's going to need a double and a 5 to shut out Courtney Parento, the middle school science teacher. A little bit of a double dribble there as well. Oh, 9-pin, thought about it. Wow. We've seen some very interesting 8-pin and 9-pin almost leave. Sometimes they get some messengers, and that one certainly fit the bill there. Must strike here. Gotta have it. It's through the nose. Oh, my goodness. Mallory Clark crumbling the 3-6-10. And now 5 on the fill. And she is going to advance to the title match. Oh, wow. For 2 seconds, you thought Parenteau might have a chance to step up and win the match. Look at this. Boom, boom. Dominoes. Needs 5. Got 7. An intriguing 10th frame. But Mallory Clark will advance, and she will face Carson Lukosius from Freehold, New Jersey. But Courtney Parenteau, the mother of 3 boys, 9, 6, and almost 5, making her first regional finals appearance. A fantastic performance today. Bowled at, again, Delaware State under head coach Kim Terrell-Kearney, who is now and has been at North Carolina A&T now for many years. Good spare. This is her 5th regional, but her first show. From West Warwick, Ohio. Oh, excuse me, Rhode Island, I beg your pardon. Also in the Delaware State Hall of Fame. As a member of the 2008-2009 team that was elected. 222 to 206. And perhaps 206 is the right number. Both of Clark's opponents have bowled 206 in losing efforts.
Remember, the winner not only takes home $1,900, they're also going to earn a spot in the season-ending regional showdown in Orlando, Florida. Small break.
Spot is on the line, of course, to the regional showdown. What's on the line here for you? There's another opportunity at a bowling ball. Actually, we might have to do 2. I forgot about that. We got to do them back to back. There's not an additional match. All right, so we'll get this done pretty quickly here. All right, first things first, let's pay a couple more, let's pay a few more bills. Wow, what a match. I mean, that was just down. Wasn't that crazy? You talk about getting some favorable breaks. Well, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, folks. When things don't work, you just got to adjust. Because I can't play the videos that we need to play. They don't download. But I do need to tell you that Storm is the leading manufacturer of high-performance bowling balls. Please visit stormbowling.com to pick your next Storm bowling ball, and always remember to bowl up a storm. Big thanks to Kegel as well, the official lane maintenance provider of the United States Bowling Congress and the PWBA. All right, so Carson Lukosius will face Mallory Clark here in just a few moments. We'll take a look at Carson's warm-up shots here. Looks like the Ion Max, and she did throw this on the fresh, by the way, so keep that in mind. All right, let's move into first bowling ball. First bowling ball of the day, or the second one, I should say, courtesy this time of Storm. And we will be joined by a special guest here for the finals. She was very close herself to making this show, ultimately finishing in 12th at plus 67. We welcome in Brianna McLeod to the Bowl TV broadcast.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Brianna, it took me a while, but if you were listening to me late in the block, folks, I'm like, I think she's related to Amber.
Yes, she's my older sister.
Who won a regional title and bowled at the regional showdown last year.
2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago already? Wow. Well, that was fast.
Yeah, she won her title in Illinois 2 years ago.
Rockford?
Yep.
I was there.
She loves that center, so.
All right, folks, make sure you submit your entry for your Storm Bowling Ball of choice. We'll have one more following that. Again, Storm Bowling Ball, that's coming up. Carson Lukosius, folks, is now 7 of 7. She's bowled 7 regionals. She's made the title match all 7 times. The question is, will she have 4 wins or 4 losses? And congrats to Kazman, who has won a Storm Bowling Ball. Congrats, Kazman. You have got yourself a Storm Bowling Ball of choice. Of course, the Bowl TV marketing squad will get you all taken care of. Be on the lookout for an email from the group. And I'm going back to back here, folks, because we got to get these done.
All right, bowling fans, Carson has elected to have Mallory begin the match. This is our title match. How about a round of applause for these 2 ladies right here? Remember, $1,900 on the line, a trip to the
$1,900 on the line.
Good luck.
And a trip to bypass qualifying is also on the line at the regional showdown. And of course, the winner of the regional showdown will have their national tour entry fees paid for the following season. So a lot on the line here. Brianna, I want to talk to you, of course, about this lane condition, 43 feet. What did you see in particular that kind of made it, certainly from the challenging perspective, how did you see it? And you'll answer right after Mallory's shot here. Ball change for Mallory.
I'm shocked she actually is getting off the gutter. I was a couple pairs to the left of her all day, and she really seemed to have a really good shot right, which most people today did not. I realized that the gutter just wasn't in play for everybody today.
I'll get an eye and some info on what bowling ball that is. Oh, no. And that's the first real mistake for Mallory, and it comes in the title match. And if there's one player you cannot make a mistake against, it is certainly Carson Lukosius.
No, she'll take advantage of those, definitely, but Sadly, I wasn't near Carson all day, so I'm not sure how she played the lanes.
Well, she looked very Carson-like, if that helps you.
So left.
Not throwing the max. Now, that's a little bit surprising. Lakosha's first shot, and see some hook.
And I think Mallory's throwing the new Black Widow.
Again, folks, submit your entry. Final giveaway here, courtesy of Brunswick. Thank you to Brunswick. The leader in bowling balls, shoes, equipment, and apparel. Again, find out the latest products, promotions, and news from Brunswick and pro shops online at brunswickbowling.com or through your local pro shop today. Submit that entry. Okay. And we've got ourselves an even match here through one.
Definitely not an easy spare to pick up on this lane condition today. Saw it chopped a lot.
And just like that, two very intriguing mistakes. Now, of course, we've had two matches, practice shots, etc., and so forth. So the lanes certainly have changed. The coach looks like she's throwing maybe an Equinox.
Yeah, it looks like an Equinox from here.
And
wow.
Wow. I tell you, the 8s and 9s that we have seen today have been really devastating, to say the least. Again, if you're just joining us, Brianna McLeod has joined me here for the title match. One of our competitors here today, finished 12th for, I believe, what, 6 games? 7 games.
8.
No, but in particular,
Oh.
I think 7 games, or the first 7 games, the only thing that really stood out was game 4 for you.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about that game.
Yeah, it was a low game, but it was such an anomaly based on the rest of your scorecard. And it was like, wow, that just had to be whatever pair she was on.
5 and 6 got the better of me today.
That had to be a tough pair. See if Mallory Clark can quickly rebound here. Looks a little left as well, and it is. Now Clark bowling for her first regional championship. From the experience perspective, right, that does go into the favor of Carson Lacoste. We talked about now being making the title match in all 7 regionals that she's bowled. Her title match record, speaking of Lacoste, currently sits at 3-3.
Yeah, she's been a tough one to beat lately in these regionals, which isn't shocking.
And that one was close for Mallory Clark here. I'd like Mal just to take a little bit of a break. You know, it's the title match, right? That heart rate starts to increase a little bit. You try to keep everything the same as best as you can. But obviously, the human nature just takes over.
Oh, yeah.
How would you handle this type of scenario? What advice would you give?
I've bowled Carson in match play. She's definitely an intimidating person to get up against no matter what the circumstances are. It's just going to be a matter of posting the best shots you can at the line and hoping they fall in your favor.
Boy, Mallory looks a touch uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is the furthest left I've really seen her today. As I said earlier in the day, even by game 8, she was still probably around 10 at the arrows and like 5 down lane and just getting the ball to come back. Not exactly sure what she sees out there to make her move left, but.
Well, if you think about who she's bowled to this point, okay, so Jen Russo was left of her. Circling. Courtney Parinto also left of her. That's a great spare. Parinto was left of her. And, of course, Carson would have been left of her. So she might feel like she's got to kind of make that move because all this oil is now being pushed to the right.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, though, Mallory told me, okay, so in January, she moved from a 4-step to a 5-step approach, which helped her with ball roll. Hand position was a bit more consistent. She's more consistent overall, which helps her when she does have to move left. what she had to do at the end of the block today. Lukosius, she's got no problems moving left.
Nope, it's her comfort zone.
Enjoys it when she's got to get further left. And that is this match's first strike. If you had told me the first strike from either of these players would come in the third frame, I would have told you you would be dead wrong.
Especially with how Carson bowled today. She had, I think, one bad game and just came back and was able to take back the lead today from 4th place. So she's definitely in her comfort zone when she can get left.
A matchup of, again, Lukosius, who obviously ended up leading as the top seed, but Mallory Clark had the lead for the first 3 games of the tournament this morning. The first to double, Lukosius.
That was a really good shot.
Carson, a very unique style, that ball roll. It's just so amazing. When she gets going, she's tough to stop. There's the replay, great shot. And now to Clark.
We just switched balls, it looks like, too.
Yeah, she looks instantly comfortable. All right, that could be what?
She threw that ball a lot today.
That was the radical outer limit solid. Because I went to ask that question. It would be, if she goes on to win this match, certainly one of the questions would be what did she see maybe or was thinking about to make that ball change early to start the championship match? Because she doubles with the ball that has gotten her to this point.
Could just be comfort for her. I know I balled up after my game 4 today and just kept moving left with a stronger ball, and it just seems to read the middle of the lane so much better.
Championship match here, the PWBA Eastern Pennsylvania Regional. Emil Williams Jr. joined by Brianna McLeod. Here in the title match, big thanks to Krista and Lee Sant, proprietors here of Steel City Bowl and Brew's phenomenal facility. 2nd consecutive year they have hosted the Eastern Pennsylvania Regional. Lukosius is trying to win this tournament for 2 consecutive years. And shots like that could possibly get it done. The first to get to 3 in a row.
Carson was very much looking forward to coming back to this center. She enjoys bowling here. She does well in this building.
Coach is former All-American at FDU. I just watched FDU last weekend at the NCAA Lansing Regional. And I was saying to myself, there was like 3 FDU alums in the field today, and you're another one.
Yes, I am. I bowled for FDU for 3 years, graduating in 2020.
Lukosius goes Brooklyn. And of course, Mallory Clark has had her fair share of breaks, so I'm sure she just smiled and probably said, "Yep, yeah, yeah, I got mine today too." All of a sudden, we've got ourselves a match. We've got plenty of open play ready as well. Got a hook. It will.
There it goes.
Ball changed back to what she had been throwing, which was the outer limit solid, and all of a sudden Mallory Clark cannot miss. Again, switching from 4 to 5 steps. And in January, she said she's a bit more consistent. Ball roll, hand position, and especially when she has to move left. Seventh frame.
Ooh, got that a little in.
And combination of the slower start, the early open. That was a missed makeable. Forgot what she chopped. Split in the 7th. And now Lukosius with an opportunity to really dig in here. And congrats to, we saw this made, by the way. I think Kristen Durr made this earlier. If I think it was her, she'll get 2. The max score now for Clark, 219. Congrats to Roseanne, Kazman, and Sumner, the winners of our bowling ball giveaways. Roseanne won a Motive bowling ball. Kazman won a Storm bowling ball of choice, and Sumner won a Brunswick bowling ball of choice. And again, thank you to our proud partners at Storm, Brunswick, and Motive. Lukosius.
Got that a little far right at the break point. Saw a lot of weak 10 pins today.
When you were bowling your best during the block today, what pieces of equipment were you using? Curious, kind of just from the types of shapes that we were seeing go down the lane from the entire field. What were you using?
To start the day, I started in my radical hitter, and then shot that bad game 4 and switched to my 3D offset assault. And I honestly stayed with my 3D offset until game 8, and it just enabled me to be able to keep moving left and moving everything and just getting through the oil. I did see a couple people throwing shiny right, but other than that, I saw a lot of bigger bowling balls today.
You are correct, David, by the way. Yeah, Durr went for the 4-7 to try to make that. Oh, boy. We've got a situation still. Lukosius now in trouble here, 210. This is intriguing, but just what you would want to see in a title match. Of course, if you're us, not bowling.
And Carson's she's not new to having to do a roll-off. She did that at the first regional last year in Myrtle Beach.
That's right. Yeah, she's seen just about every scenario.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Wow. And I think she thought she had that. Right. That's when
she definitely thought she had that.
You know it's on target.
I don't think she went to make it, though.
And of course, count obviously important in this situation. So you secure the 1, but she secured that one so well. There was an opportunity to make that. Watch the 2-pin, mosey on over, and just kind of lay right in front.
Looks like her spare ball hooked a little bit at the end.
Mallory Clark now with an opportunity. It's in front of her. She's got to step out and grab it.
It's a good shot.
You heard Shim from the crowd. Good friends, Carrie, and Jeff Smith watching along here. Heard the word Shim. That one to push, hold on the oil line. Could cut the lead to 6 here. Lukosius max score 225. Clark max at 219. Lukosius is going to finish first. Must strike here for Clark. Looks a little left. Oh my gosh. If Mallory Clark goes on to win this tournament,
I think she just apologized to Carson.
I go back to the 3-6-10 crumble, the domino effect on the second shot in the 10th frame, essentially to clinch it. She needed 5 on the fill, got 7. Oh my.
There's been some interesting ways to carry today, to say the least. But also a lot of 8 and 9 pins.
Hello to Ashley and Dan, by the way, in the chat. And thank you to everyone here who's watched both the USPC Queens and the PWBA Regional. Lukosius. She's still in control. Bang.
Better shot.
And now in control to possibly win her 4th career PWBA Regional title.
I wonder if Carson ever gets used to all these tough situations.
You know, it's a good question. I don't know if players ever get used to it, but I feel like their body is trained and they know what to do in the situation. Needs a double, or 2 in the 10th, I should say. Bang.
Nice shot, Carson.
Lukosius, who won 3 times last year, finished 2nd 3 times, lost a heartbreaker to Caitlin Stoll in the regional showdown. First regional she has entered this year, and of course she's made the title match in all 7 that she has competed in. Remarkable record. She could make it her 4th regional title. Must strike here, though. For a win. Bang! And there it is. Formalities here for Lukosius.
It was a great second shot by her. I know she, ever since the Albany Regional last month, she's been wanting to get back and win again.
And again, 5 is the number on the fill here for Lukosius. Behind the line, it is 10. And the magic for Carson Lukosius continues. She has defended the title here at the PWBA Eastern Pennsylvania Regional. In a match that started very iffy for both players, she was able to right the ship quickly. Mallory Clark will finish 2nd, and she bowled phenomenal all day long. And I'm sure she will be maybe thinking about not starting, of course, with that radical outer limit solid. Decided to make a ball change to start the match. She switched to it in the 4th frame and looked exactly like she had looked throughout the day and certainly the 2 preceding matches. Official tally, 225 to 182. Lukosius, 7 of 7 in regional finals, or to make the regional final or title match in a regional. And now that title match record stands at 4 and 3. Simply remarkable what she has done here. That's a good question. Where will they be?
I don't think they know.
All right, so I need to change.
All right, Carson, congratulations once again. Defending champion, here to present some hardware is our 2 proprietors, Lee and Krista Sand. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Real quick, thank you so much to the PWBA, the staff, Damon, Emil, and the people working here. We greatly appreciate you bringing events like this here. We love hosting. It's an honor. Thank you very much. Give a round of applause to the PWBA, please. And now, Carson, back to back at Steel City. Congratulations. The competition, the stepladder, cut me off. The stepladder finals were just as intense as like the qualifying was coming down to the end. Every match was tight. It was very exciting to watch it unfold. Congratulations to you on your victory. To present the hardware, my wife, the trophy, Steel City, Eastern Pennsylvania PWBA champion.
Congratulations, Carson. It's been an honor to be able to present this to you 2 years in a row.
Round of applause, please, for the champion.
Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Congratulations to Carson once again. Your 2000.
All right, folks, we are going to have Carson in the booth here. But before we do that, I do want to thank Brianna McLeod for asking to be in the booth. And
Thank you for having me.
In a short sample size, you did a pretty good job. Just real quickly, as we await the presence of one Carson Lukosius, your thoughts on, you saw the entire final, so you were here from start to finish. Kind of run down what stood out to you on each of those matches, but obviously, of course, the title match, which Carson made the shots when she had to make them.
Yeah, it looks like, honestly, it played true to what I saw in the competition today. The lower end of this house plays a lot tighter than the high end, and I think that just played in Carson's favor to be able to move everything left, and it forced a couple people who were kind of playing a little straighter to get deeper in. And when it comes to that, it's just going to come down to carry.
Well, as you said, there was some interesting carry scenarios. We saw 8 pins. We saw some 9 pins.
A lot of 4 pins.
A lot of 4 pins as well, but pretty good stuff here. All right, looks like Carson is ready. So, Brianna, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Real quick, any plans to bowl any other regionals?
I'm possibly going to bowl Ohio, but I will be bowling the National Queens for the first time this year.
Okay. All right, so we will see you in Las Vegas here in a couple
See you in
weeks.
Las Vegas.
All right, bet. All right, that is Brianna McLeod as we get ready for some cosmic bowling here in just a moment. We will be joined, of course, by Carson Lukosius. We'll make it quick. All right, Cosmic is about to take place. Oh, look at this. Well, this will be the first interview we've ever done completely in the dark. But we're doing it because we got the champ here. Obviously, I'm doing myself no favors because, of course, you know.
Get a spotlight on us.
So we'll see. We'll try our best here. No, that's not terrible.
Okay, we're good.
Not terrible. All right, but nonetheless, Carson. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is regional title number 4.
Yes.
You're 7 for 7 when you enter a regional making the title match. First of all, what was different about this title match? Because you and Mallory both kind of started slow, which I did not anticipate. So what about the lane condition at that point with obviously multiple matches on it, practice shots, etc.? Were you seeing and did you see when you started?
I mean, well, I started with, this morning, the qualifying block, I started with my strongest ball, my Ion Max. And, I mean, I came out of the box and I shot 240 and, you know, I had pretty good reaction, but then I fell into a trap the game 2 and I only shot 2-0. So I knew I was going to have to either make a decision whether to start with the Ion or just be proactive and, you know, go right to the Equinox, which I did kind of later in the day, like game 3 or 4. But, yeah, luckily, I mean, first couple shots weren't as good, and then I made a slight adjustment back right, and seemed to work out for me. That split late was unfortunate that I was going to make it, but
it looked like you certainly had the opportunity to do so. What were you seeing essentially from Mallory, right? And obviously she's on a roll.
Yeah.
You know you're probably going to need a big game to get this thing done. So what were you watching kind of from afar as you were preparing for your match?
Yeah, I mean, she's a really solid player. She's got such a simple game, and it's silent and deadly. You know, when she puts it there, she's either getting 9 or she's striking. So luckily for me, and not so lucky for her, she made some bad shots there at the end. But, I mean, I think she threw it great all day. She came out hot with a 260 game to start qualifying. But I mean, that title match, that pair got a little bit weird, and luckily she made the ball change later, and I just, stuck with my ball and moved my feet. So, yeah.
You get another one down in the books early.
Yeah.
And I know certainly that feels good. As you continue moving forward, and we've talked about, obviously, your full-time job and obviously what the things that you can bowl in the national tour, but looking ahead, winning never gets boring or old.
No.
But how will you develop new challenges potentially whenever you enter a regional, considering the success and the success rate that you're having at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel pressure, and I don't really put too much, pressure or, bowling is so fun for me right now. It's not my full-time job, although, I mean, I give respect to anyone that does it full-time,
Sure.
men or women. But, yeah, I mean, I'm having fun right now, and, every tournament I bowl, I'm just thankful to be there, thankful to be healthy. And, if the pins go my way, like they did today, great. But if they don't, then I'll keep trying.
Spoken like a true champ. Last question. Speaking of that, I thought you really carried yourself like a champion after shooting 158 in Game 7.
Yeah.
Right? It could have gone a completely different direction, and it was probably a little bit of a different scenario where you're bowling to make the show at this point. What happened during the 158? And, of course, I thought 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 were pretty good pairs today.
Yeah.
I think you shoot 260 at the end.
Yeah. Thank goodness for that 260 game. But, Game 7, I hit 19 and 20. And, I mean, it was freezing in here, like, all day. And I think my hand finally just caught up to me, and it started shrinking. So I was not fitting in my ball. I needed a piece of tape badly. I wasn't making good shots. I mean, I was all over the place, wasn't consistent at all. And then I think finally by frame 7 or 8, I put a piece of tape in, and I had like 4 or 3 consistent shots to finish the game. I made a 310 in there. I hate that spare. Hate it. Made a 310 in there to save the game to shoot 158. Woo! Yeah, but I always seem to do that. I always have that one bad game, but I never seem to let it affect me. I mean, I fully blame myself there. It's not like it was a bad pair. Like, I will fully take accountability for that game. And we moved on from that, and we shot 260 the last game because I was mad.
I tell you, your parents were here today and your sister.
Yes.
Congrats again to the family. Dad sounds like he's about to bowl and getting ready for some PBA 50 events he told me about. So the Lukosius family, folks, not just on the PWBA, but Dad's about to go out on the PBA 50 tour for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to check him out there as well. Carson, always a pleasure. Congratulations again. And I'm going to enjoy this run, hopefully as much as you are enjoying it.
I am. I'm shocking myself. Like, this is fun. It's cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
I had fun calling it,
Yeah.
like I always do. Congrats, and go enjoy with your family.
Thank you. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
That is Carson Lukosius, ladies and gentlemen. 4th regional championship in now, what is this? This is year 2025 at this point. She won 3 again last year. As we close it out, big thanks to Krista and Lee Sant. By the way, folks, so just to give you the what happened here, they had their reservations based on the original scheduled time of the stepladder, which was 4 p.m., which, of course, we did not start at 4 p.m. And so they already had the waiting list that was about 16 lanes deep. And so those individuals started to roll in during the stepladder finals appearance. So that is why the quick transition has happened. So not done intentionally, but they based it off the schedule, of course, from that regard. So, again, thank you to Krista and Lee. Thank you to the entire staff here. TJ is always great. And everybody in between. Bowl TV Under the Lights, or Bowl TV Cosmic, or Bowl TV After Dark, whatever you want to call this. This actually got a nice vibe to it. I kind of like it. Maybe we can do a whole show from this angle right here. What do you guys think about it? I need some light, obviously, because, I'm a person of color. I need a little bit more light. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, big thank you to the Bowling Proprietors Association of America and their respective board, the United States Bowling Congress and the USBC board, the Professional Bowlers Association. Don't forget the PBA Tournament of Champions is going down next weekend, or next week, I'm sorry. That's the final event of the season. And, of course, it will be at historic AMF Riviera Lanes in Fair Lawn, Ohio. So make sure you watch all of the qualifying, of course, on Bowl TV before shows hit on FS1 and Fox. Big thanks to Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the PWBA, and certainly the competitors, Carson, Mallory. Congrats to Courtney Parento today, as well as Jennifer Russo. We'll see a lot of those players, of course, coming up in the national tour in Topeka, which starts on May 8th. And we'll see many as well during the USBC Queens, which is where we'll see Brianna McLeod for the first time. And certainly you, the Bowl TV community, great work. Great chatting with you guys as always. Always a pleasure to be in this seat. I do not take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. And I love you guys for being you. With that said, congrats again to Carson Lukosius, win number 4 on the PWBA Regional Tour. This has been a presentation of the PWBA Eastern Pennsylvania Regional. Quick shout out to Damon Sirocco, of course, as well, and Brianna McLeod, our guest for the title match. Again, so for Brianna, Damon, the entire staff and crew, and everyone across the board from the Bowl TV perspective, my name is Emil Williams Jr. We will see you in Topeka for the PWBA Topeka Open presented by Go Bowling. It should be an awesome time. Until then, you guys be safe, be well. I'll see you in Topeka, Kansas. Good night.